Superman strong, yes, we made it still. We talking sports right now. You better know that it's real. We on your airwaves all. We talking every level. Yeah, that's right. Put them on the chopping block. Rating them out from A to Z. See which one is hotter now. Wanna chime in? Hey, pick up your phone and call me. Hopes, Buck, Clint, Coke, Wawa, Auburn, Gas City, Westbrook, Cruiser, Christian, Southside, Rammer, Jammer, Yellow Hammer, give them hell, Alabama. Friday night lights, it ain't nothing like Saturday hype. We love it right. You wanna hear the best sports to now? Go Foul Sports Talk, the best all around. Foul Sports Radio, I hope you ready. Foul, yeah, it's about to go down. Foul, K-A-V-O-W, Sports Radio, and yeah, we all the way live. The Foul Sports Radio, I hope you ready. The Foul, yeah, it's about to go down. The Foul, K-A-V-O-W, Sports Radio, and yeah, we all the way live. The Foul Sports Radio, I hope you ready. The Foul, yeah, it's about to go down. The Foul, K-A-V-O-W, Sports Radio, and yeah, we all the way live. The Foul Sports Radio, I hope you ready. The Foul, yeah, it's about to go down. The Foul, K-A-V-O-W, Sports Radio, and yeah, we all the way live. We coming Superman strong, yes, we made it still. We talking sports right now. You better know that it's real. We on your airwaves all. We talking every level. Yeah, that's right. Put them on the chopping block. Rating them out from A to Z. See which one is hotter now. Wanna chime in? Hey, pick up your phone and call me. Hopes, Buck, Clint, Coke, Wawa, Auburn, Gas City, Westbrook, Cruiser, Christian, Southside, Rammer, Jammer, Yellow Hammer, give them hell, Alabama. Friday night lights, it ain't nothing like Saturday hype. We love it right. You wanna hear the best sports to now? Go Foul Sports Talk, the best all around. The Foul Sports Radio, I hope you ready. The Foul, yeah, it's about to go down. The Foul, K-A-V-O-W, Sports Radio, and yeah, we all the way live. The Foul Sports Radio, I hope you ready. The Foul, yeah, it's about to go down. The Foul, K-A-V-O-W, Sports Radio, and yeah, we all the way live.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Coach Russ Propst Show. Jeff Underwood, Jerry White. What's up, man?
You know, just celebrating the ins and outs of high school football. I will say that I was very excited to make my way over to Coosa Christian, and they're having a blood drive at the school today. And to Rush's surprise, they took my blood. Coach isn't always right.
There's no way they took your blood.
No.
way.
They made him feel good. They're
They
tossing
took it and they tossed it.
That's
You
exactly
know,
right.
And Willis Creek. Is that Willis Creek or is it Black Creek?
That's Wills Creek.
Willis Creek.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
The
Coach.
fish didn't even eat
You
blood.
know
Might
how
as well be
expensive that's
Black
go-
Creek.
you know how expensive that's going to be on the open market. I'm saying that's high quality.
It could change your blood. Never mind.
Never mind, Coach. Let's get right into last week. On the road, which sometimes is really good to get away, get on the road. Before we get into the game, what a fantastic 2A facility.
Oh, phenomenal. Rodney Green, the superintendent there, has done a wonderful job in Blount County Schools. You know, to me, Blount County Schools is one of the best kept secrets throughout the whole state. A lot of good schools there. A lot of good schools. A lot of good people. Just good down-home folks. And, you know, and Cleveland treated us really well, and the facility is just outstanding. I mean, that's sort of what you want if you're a 1A, 2A team. Even certain 3As is pretty nice. But, you know, but I was really impressed with their facilities, the hospitality. The whole 9 yards was good.
Score was pretty good, too.
Well, you know, the score is always good when you win. And, you know, I thought we played pretty good.
Sure.
I thought we played good, and we made a statement. And They had a kid get hurt on their sideline. There was an ACL. I watched. I saw it when it happened. It was just a plain injury. He didn't get hit. It was just a plain injury, and
and the quarterback got taken out of the game.
Yeah,
that was a contact injury.
Yeah, no, that was a little bit of a contact injury, but at the same time, they're first class people up there, and then their administration, and then led by Rodney Green, superintendent, who's very, very good to work with.
Can we talk special teams for a second?
Yeah.
A lot of things went well, special teams. I love the onside kick, and Brick Boy was right there like he was in the huddle. He knew what was coming. He filmed it amazingly well. And just talk us through that particular play.
Well, it's called our pooch kick, and Teddy Whitmire does all that. And we got about 8 different ways we can kick off. And obviously, we don't want to kick like we did to Pell City, which is about dumb. But, that was a mistake on our part. But again, we have about 4 different onside kicks, and we have a bunch of placement kicks that we can put the ball in different places. But George did a great job getting the ball with a lot of height. They didn't recognize it. The ball hit the ground, and it's your ball. I mean, whoever gets it, gets it. So it really is a good weapon to do that, because people really have to work on it. And if they're working on that, they're probably not working on return very much. So anyway, I'm very pleased with our kickoff team and George's ability. George has the ability to do a lot of different things with his leg, and the good thing, he's a junior. So he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Talk about your quarterback play. How impressed are you with Long last week? 155 yards, I believe, right? You guys hung up 58. I mean, it is a team offensive effort, but the poise and leadership by your young guy, that's pretty good for you, right? Pretty impressive for you.
It is. I think Mac will only get better as we get into it. We're just now getting our video stuff up and running the right way, to where we're been able to do practice and being able to have a couple of different angles of practice. And I think, this is the first week we've really been able to watch practice video. And, and I think now with that and with our huddle cameras and everything, we'll have better game footage, we'll have better practice footage, and now we're really honing in on practice footage of making corrections. So with Mac, I think he will get better as we go. And then I've got a little place at River Rock called QB Lab that he and I sit down at least once a week, most times twice a week, and we go through his read progressions, we go through fundamentals of the game, and only that can help him be better as a quarterback. So I'm pleased with his progress. I think he'll get better, a lot better now as we go through these playoffs, because now we can really critique and watch the things he's doing in practice. I think the biggest thing he's got to the thing that he's got to do, he's got to get the ball out faster. Read progressions have got to be sped up, and he's got to trust his OL and stay in the pocket and just go through his reads. And, and then you've got to build, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, we have to build a check down system into every offensive pass. And I think they didn't have that really. They didn't have that. They had a protection where the running back sort of helped with the lineman to block, and it left the quarterback sort of naked at times. So we try to correct that part of it in the throw game, which I think is helping us. I know Joseph struggles catching the ball sometimes out in the flats and things, but he's had a really good week of practice this week doing that. And sometimes out of 2 back, you can do that. And I think with Colin and him and then Carson Reed now eligible to play, gives us another weapon, guys. So now you got to cover the field horizontally as much as you do vertically. So now you got to play the 53-yard width as much as you do down the field. So it makes your passing game even more dangerous. We've added some play action this week that I think, because we're really a good run team anyway, so now the play action pass off of that's going to make us more dangerous also going forward. So things are starting to come together, and very, very pleased with the progress we're making.
You like that play action?
I love play action.
I
love play action. Hey, let's talk about Carson Reed for a second, because he flashed a couple times defensively last week, and we were like, hey, wait, that's 4. I was very impressed with that. Let's talk about that kid. And besides just getting some snaps and getting to give some people a break, the kid is athletic and it is a good football player.
No, he's going to be a really good football player, and I think now you got to think he's played 2 games, and I think as he gets into it and learns more, he gives us that sort of that third-headed guy in the backfield. You know, when we get in pistol, obviously it's Joseph, and Colin plays slot. Sometimes he can play, but the advantage now is we can play Carson as the second running back, and then when we get in two-back stuff, or what we call red or gold, now you've got Joseph, Carson, and Colin that can be, because you can put our H position, which is Colin,
Mm-hmm.
we can put him in the backfield or we can put him in the slot. So Carson is trying to learn F and H, F being Joseph, Colin being the H. So Carson is learning both. So we have that two-way to go.
Yeah, I like that.
We really like it. I think somebody else has been impressive to me is Jack England. I think has gotten better as a football player, and hopefully as we get into playoff football that he can spell some people. Jack's a good football player. He hustles. He gives you what I think gives you what you need. I know he's young. We like the Keener kid.
Yeah, me too.
We think he's only going to get better. And so now, I may have said this, I hope I'm not repeating myself, but last week we had LJ and Cooper at 2 Z's. We had Keener and Malone, Grace Malone at X. That's 2 X's. We had Colin Carson at H, and Pierce. So it gives you some depth. We have 2 Y's with Palmer and Kate Mickler. I tell you somebody else, there's Byram, I think, he had a good week of practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he can keep coming on and being a Y for us. We're creating some depth late in the year. What kills us is not having JV football games.
Right.
I mean, that has just been devastating to our program. It's not being able to have a number of kids and we just don't have the kids.
Yeah.
We just don't have it. I mean, you may have a few, but you ain't got no linemen. So Nick Nunn has gotten better. Jaquan Allen has gotten better. London has gotten better. The other big 7th grader. But again, they're 7th graders.
But looking at them, no way they're 7th graders.
No, we don't look like it.
They're good kids.
But Nick Nunn's really going to give us some help down the road. I think and Jaquan could too. But I think there's some depth starting to creep into our deal that can help us down the road where we're just not sitting there playing with 13 kids, we're playing with 16 or 17 kids.
It makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference, guys.
Jeff, do you know why Kylan plays the H position? Because every time he touches the ball, he's headed to the house.
Come on.
That's why the name is double. He plays
What's
a
he
double.
about 60 yards per rushing per? I mean, this kid is just different. He is a
I don't care
different-
where you put me. You could put him at nose guard and he's going to flash. He's special.
Special player.
He is. Hey, let's go back a little bit and talk region, right? So Region 6, region championship. We get this victory. It's a region championship. It's never happened in the association with Coosa that I remember. Jeff, you were.
No, we were a Christian organization or a Christian accreditation. That's correct.
Yeah, they won a state championship that way. But so this is huge to be able to bring a championship, a region championship, to Philip Ellen Stadium.
I agree. I never really talk a lot about region championship and more about playoff positioning. But in this situation, I think it's something to talk about because obviously it's the first one and it's something you can hang on your stadium, hang a banner somewhere that says you're the best team in the region. But again, we got to go do it.
Sure.
And then the following week is a region game too. I don't want to sit there and be region champions at 5-1. You want to try to run the table and be undefeated in your region and be region champions. Now, what does it mean? As far as winning a state title, what it means is that you get to host your first round, and then after that, it's all about playoff bracket luck or positioning. I don't like the way Alabama does the playoff deal compared to Georgia. Georgia's way better because if you're a Region 1 winner, you should host every time unless you're playing another number 1 seed. And if in that situation you flip a coin or it's predetermined before the season, you flip a coin that at the top of the bracket or the bottom of the bracket, if two number ones meet, it's already predetermined who plays. So
I like that.
I do too, because
Dwayne Morris was saying that too.
Well, it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
It makes more sense. And why they came up with this different way of doing it is just not fair to the people that have won a region championship. That's the bottom line. And I think once you've done it in another state a different way and see the value of it, and that's just something. And I've told Steve Smith about, there's some things in Georgia that are being done that I think we need to look at over here. I think we're a little bit behind in some of the sort of progressive things that they've done over there to make high school football even better. So hopefully, there's some things can change down the road. But because, bottom line, you win the first round, the second round, you may have to travel. You may have traveled to a number 3 seed and you're a 1 seed.
Yeah.
So, you run that risk, and I had to do it at Hoover. And but I'm not. We'll do it, and we're excited to be there if we're fortunate to win the first round. But I don't mean I have to like it that way.
Sure, that's fact. Hey, but again, let's give Cold Springs, let's give the Eagles some credit. Man, this team is a high potent scoring offense. They have a better record than us. They're 6-1 so far this season.
That's right.
They're averaging 46 points a game offensively. Yep. Defense giving up under 19 points a game. They know how to win, and their only blemish, surprisingly, I say it's surprising because of the score, but you never know how scores go. Susan Moore beat them 66-50. What a shootout that was. Jeff, I'd have had to get you some sucrets or something, for your throat to call all those touchdowns. That was a wild game, but they put up points. That's what they're known for. This is far from a walk in the stadium and get a victory game.
No, it's way far. I mean, Coach O, I talked to Brandon on Sunday, and, and obviously he's watched every film of ours. And,
sure.
He watched. So that they'll know us very well. They'll be prepared. This is a huge ball game for them. It's a huge ball game for us too. So it's what a region championship should be like. Yep. I mean, this is what it should be. And we better walk in there with our head on a swivel and make sure that we take care of business and be smart. And the one thing that I'm not happy with is that with these personal fouls, I think we've done better, but we got to cut them out. Right. We got to completely cut them out, because that means you're too emotionally in the game and you let your emotions override your intelligence. And you can't do that. You cannot overcome multiple 15-yard penalties because of a personal foul and holding calls. The rule is don't grab the jersey outside the framework of the chest area. And when the player is getting away from you, you cannot grab the jersey. And I think that, everybody knows Palmer is gotten a bad rap. And I've told Palmer, I said, look, man, the officials know who you are, because they see what you're doing, and so you're talked about. And you have to do a better job of being smart of what you're doing, because you're going to hurt our team. And we can't stand for 85 yards in penalty. Anything 40 or less, I can live with. I'd rather it be around the 30, 35. You're going to get a holding call.
Sure.
You're going to have one. You're going to jump off sides. You're going to have an illegal procedure. And you may have a PI. So 15 and 10 is 25, and then 2 5s is 35. So if you're 35 and under, I can live with that. But once it starts getting to 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, then you're on the risk of losing the game.
Yeah.
And that's just being disciplined. And, hopefully we do a better job of that in the coming weeks, is doing a better job being more disciplined and not having so many dang penalties.
People are saying right now, Coach, you're showing Miss Delp that you know math. So next year, teaching a math class. So there it is. You're welcome.
Well,
so
I do know that. I know what penalties.
Hey, Coach Short just chimed in.
Coach.
Appreciate Coach Short. Say good luck with the West this week, Coach. And we did. Look, it's so funny. We saw him leaving the game in Cleveland. So we yelled at him. The whole stands turned and looked at us, Coach, because we're on top of the press box, right? So everybody in the stands turned and looked like we're yelling at them, and we're just loving on Coach Short. So
yeah, Short. I've been friends since 1981. We've been like brothers for a long time, so we've experienced a lot of things together. So
let me say this:
some good, some you can't talk about.
That dude needs to be coaching.
Michael Short,
he needs
phenomenal football coach,
yeah.
A fundamentalist in the purest of form. I mean, the guy when I used to watch him coach, and when he coached for us, he just has a knack for knowing leverage. He knows technique. He knows the fundamentals of the game, and he teaches it very, very well.
And like Jeff, right now he knows grandbabies. That's all he cares
That's a
about.
fact.
Is the
That's a fact.
grandbabies.
He got one, a beautiful grandbaby.
Let's talk about your grandkids.
Yeah, we had a great time this weekend in South Georgia. They treated us. I told Short this. 10,000 fans, and the place was packed. We had a beef brisket deal before the game. Had a tailgate with all the former players and people and booster people in the back lot, what they call the back lot. Of course, Valdosta Colquitt is a huge rivalry, the oldest rivalry in the state of Georgia. I think they've played 130 times since 1912. But it was a heck of a football game. I mean, Colquitt won, upset Valdosta 18-17.
Oh, wow.
And a heck of a football game. And, we were taken out on the field at halftime to a standing ovation. And with our quarterback was there.
Oh.
There's a combat engineer captain in the Marine Corps.
Heck yeah.
That played for the Naval Academy. They won 30 in a row for us. And we had other players there too. But no, it was great to see people. There's some people I hadn't seen in 10 years. And I got to spend it with my granddaughters and my grandson. And
that's cool.
And then we went to Thomasville Saturday night, and they one of the best Italian restaurants you've ever eaten at. It's phenomenal. And so we just had a great weekend. I appreciate Senator Saxby Chambliss, who's now retired, been able to stay at his house. They turned his house over to us, and we had a great time. And just a great experience. Just glad to have done it.
Heck yeah, man. So what are you expecting when you get there? I'm hearing they're gonna try to bring as big a crowd as possible. It's gonna be loud. You've coached in some phenomenally big venues. You've coached in some big games. What's your speech to, not necessarily speech, but what's your spiel to your team when you go into a hostile environment?
Control your emotions. Just don't let emotions dictate how you play, because or you'll be like this. You'll be up and down, up and down. And I've always believed that. I learned it from Bear Bryant. Coach Bryant used to talk about that all the time, on his Sunday show, back in the 70s. He would talk about don't let your emotions get so high that you're not assignment sound, that you bust assignments and not be, because at the end of the day you have to execute. And to be able to execute, you've got to know your assignment. And I think that's the one thing that I learned from him back in the day, and playing for Reagan Clark, at Ohatchee, is that you can't get so emotional that you cannot control your emotions that cause you to mess up. So I think that's the biggest thing, is whether there's 200 in the stand or 10,000 or 15,000 in the stand, play your game, focus on the task at hand. And I shouldn't have to coach effort. You should play with extreme effort, but control emotion. That's the biggest thing I can get over. So
I get Teddy and or Coach Whitmire, Coach Williams send me the starters, so we can prep for the game, and they always have them send me a quote. Yeah. And so far, every time they do it, Alaric always sends me a quote from the Bible.
Yeah.
And Teddy always sends me a quote by Bear Bryant, which is almost like Old Testament. In some. So the last one he sent me, there's no substitution for guts. Bear Bryant.
No, none. Toughness, guts.
Is that what lacking in today's high school football?
I think a lot. I think you see it a lot. And the thing that bothers me about high school football today is kids will get hurt on the field, and they'll lay on the field. Coaches or trainers will come out, and they'll attend to them, and they get up and get off the field, and they're back in 3 plays later.
Yeah.
You would have never done that when I played in the 70s, or when I was coaching in the 80s, or even the 90s. And I didn't allow it at Hoover or Coughlin. To be honest with you, I used to tell players all the time, if you're hurt bad enough to lay on the field, you better be hurt that you can't play.
Yeah.
And so
it's what they see on NFL and college. That's what they see.
They just lay on the field like they're dying or dead, and just got their bell rung, or they got some kind of bruised contusion injury that you just got to shake off. The game is played with equipment. I mean, if you didn't play with equipment, you wouldn't have it. It's played with a hard acrylic headgear and shoulder pads and pads all over your body. So, sometimes it don't feel good when it hits flesh.
Sure.
And so you have to understand that. And I think I look at that, and I think that's where the game has changed a little bit. With kids maybe not as tough. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But then you sit there and watch a Major League Baseball player who'll pull himself out for a blister on his hand. Or
you leave Max Fried out of this, Coach.
Yeah.
He is a pitcher. He's got to grip it.
I don't care. I don't care. It bothers me more than anything. Or they'll have a little hammy, or they'll have a little this, and they can't play and stuff like that. Just I don't know. Just I'm old school about that kind of stuff, and I think toughness still wins.
Yeah.
And to me, right now, one of the toughest teams in the country in college football is Ohio State Buckeyes.
Sure.
I think Ryan Day has got his team playing at a high level, but to me, they're physical and they're tough.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, when the smoke clears, usually the tougher team wins.
I know he's got that gravy gone in his beard. It's a little blacker this season than last season.
Look, I'm not a Big Ten fan. I'm not an Ohio State fan. I see what I see. And I tell you somebody else, Dan Lanning is another one that's a hard-nosed,
You don't get the credit because where he's at.
No, he does not.
Agreed.
But to me, Oregon's another one that's just tough. And I'm not saying some SEC teams are not tough, but I just think that sometimes maybe we're not as tough as we used to be.
That's a fact. Let's talk about the two players of the week from last week's game. Just want to get your thought on them. Defensively, L.J. Mostella.
Mm-hmm.
Offensively, D.L. Dodd. They got the nods. Talk about those two guys from last week.
Well, I think D.L. has had a really good year so far because he's played really well both sides. He didn't have the best week of practice this week, but
I blame his dad.
And please do. And so I hadn't seen him all week, so that tells me something. But D.L. is a really good player.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Rex Bow, but D.L. has a lot of ability. He really does. And, D.L. can play somewhere if he wants to. If he really wants to go play somewhere, he can. It may be NAIA, but what's wrong with that? I mean, you're getting a $35,000 scholarship for. I know a lot of these Midwest schools, the tuition's $42 to $45, and they'll play up to $35 of it. And you go to places like Graceland and Waldorf and McPherson and things that my son went and visited that we love.
Yeah.
And
Kentucky, like Lindsey Wilson and those schools.
Cumberland. Cumberland in Tennessee and Kentucky. There's two of them. So there's a lot out there that are good places for people like for D.L. to play, but he is talented. I'm not sure if he's an offensive or defensive guy. He probably could be a 5-technique defensive end, but if not, he could either be a guard center. He runs well, he moves well, and when he wants to, he is physical as they come. So
he's got great hair too.
Yeah, I love D.L. I really do. He's got great folks, and to me, he's one of our leaders. He's one of the guys that's going to have to make us go. So that's with him. And on the other side, LJ. LJ probably has a D1 body.
Sure.
To me, he looks like a D1 nickel. And people say, what is a nickel? A nickel is an old strong safety is what he is. Basically, he has to cover number 2. If they play man, he has to cover the number 2 receiver, the slot receiver, the tight end, whatever. He's a guy that's got flats in zone. He has to contain on outside runs. He can blitz from the field. He can roll back and play safety with motion. But LJ is very versatile. He don't have great hands to be. He's a good receiver, but I don't think he's a college receiver. I think he's a college defensive, strong safety, nickel type. And his body, man, he's got a good body. And so he looks like somebody. I've seen kids in the SEC that look just like that.
Sure.
And Malachi Moore in Alabama. LJ's got a better looking body than Malachi Moore did. So
you're giving this kid a big head now, Coach.
He does. He does. He just got to continue to improve as a football player and get a chance. I know there's some people talking to him, but when somebody takes him and gets him and develops him, I think he'll be a really good college player. I really do.
Heck yeah.
How important is it to set the tone early with this Cold Springs team? Because they start fast at home.
Yeah. I think that's the big key. I think the first 6 minutes of the ball game is a huge key, and I think again, the longer they stay in, the more dangerous they become. And I think these next 24 hours, or however long it is before we play,
none of us were math majors.
30 hours from now.
There you go.
So 30 hours from now, we better be at high finger pitch, ready to go, and we better start fast. And that means we better be really solid defensively. Don't give up a cheap one because we blow a coverage. Don't give up something in special teams or offensively. Don't turn the ball over early. Be smart with the football and establish something right out of the gate. So we'll have a good plan. We've got a good plan.
Sure.
And we just got to go execute it. And we're still not there yet. We got practice today and walk through tomorrow. And, of course, we're leaving fairly early because it's about on the bus, nearly 2 hours on the bus now. So it's sort of weird how you got to get there. So
Ain't no good way.
No, there's not a good way.
It's the worst trip ever.
It's a tough trip. So we'll deal with it and hopefully we get up there and play really well.
How pleased or displeased are you with your third down defense?
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been good. We emphasize, I don't think Teddy's real happy with our turnover ratio, although I think we've done pretty good. I think sometimes he's unrealistic on how many we get, but, I'm used to getting 2 a game, 3. If you get 2 a game, that's big. If you get 3 a game, you're going to win 85 to 90% of the time if you get 3. If you're +2 in the turnover ratio, say you turn it over once, they turn it over 3, and you're a +2, you're going to win 85% of the time. And I think, so I know he's been really hard the turnover ratio this week. And we've got to protect the football ourselves. We can't just be spitting it out and throwing into coverage and all those kinds, because it's magnified times 10 when you do that kind of stuff. So hopefully we're smart with the football, take care of the football, and then establish something early that we can hang our hat on. And whether we spread it and throw it, or whether we bunch it up and run it, and that's the value of what we can do. I think in the past, we sort of know what the identity was, with the top players they had last year. Lord, they had really good football players. I think with Cleat and Cannon and Jay Allen and Joseph. I mean, they had 4 running backs, and then they had the same line we got plus the center.
Yeah. And
then you had Eli, and then you had the good receiver out there that oh Lord, I can't think of his name, but. So they were really good at lining up and saying, "Here I come," and you just got to stop us.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have as much of the luxury because of our running back situation. Now we've gotten a little better now that Carson Reed's back, but the good thing now, I think we can win 2 different ways.
Okay.
I think we can line up and run the ball right at people, and then I think we can line up and I think we can throw the football and be very good at that too. So. That 2-headed monster and having to defend that is tougher on the defense, because now let them load the box. Let them load the box. If they do, then we're going to scald them and throwing it. If they want to go out there and play coverage stuff, then we're going to be able to run it. So it's a numbers game. It's all about a numbers game. You got to count the box and be smart with how we attack them.
That's a real coach right there. You love every bit of that. I love it. Do you think his guys know when he rubs his face? That's something that frustrates him, because I noticed when he was.
He's got tails.
He's got tails. You couldn't go to Vegas with one of your friends there. Sorry.
That's all right.
My bad. I didn't say nothing. It's on me.
It's funny because he's fat. Sorry. That's the only movie quote I know for that.
No, you know one more, but you can't say that on this show.
Yeah. Oh, I can.
When
We'd
you
have to cut to improve it.
True.
Hey, Coach, let's get back just 1 second. Let's talk about, there has never been a high school program that is, I would consider, successful without the buy-in of administration. Talk about what's going on administration-wise with you guys.
Well, they're great. I mean, they're super.
Even Jack?
Even Jack.
Oh.
Now, it starts with Jason Ellen. I mean,
It never mattered.
It starts with our pastor of the church, and then because the church and the school is one and the same.
Right.
That's what everybody has to understand is our church and our school is one and the same. The school and the football program and the athletic program is a mission for the church. And I think that it has to be all in one deal. I know we have the elders, and I know we've got administration with the church, and then we got a school board, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's all one and the same. It has to be one and the same. You can't have the church having a decision here and the school going in a different direction. They all have to be under the same guys, so to speak. And for the most part, we are. And, you know, I've been very impressed with our church. I've been very impressed with the people that are in charge at our church. Our school board has been great. You know, I think they understand a lot of things. And, you know, and obviously I do things different than Mark, you know.
I heard that.
So, but, you know, and I think that's been good. And from a standpoint, you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And I think that that old cliche has been out there for thousands of years. But, you know, I think the one thing that I do is when you've been in so many different places, from Pell City to Valdosta to Colquitt County to Hoover to Alma Bryant, and then you go all the way back to you fall in Asheville and Heflin, you know, and then growing up in Ohatchee and playing for Reagan Clark. So I have been in a lot of different venues,
sure,
in a lot of different situations, and I can tell you when it's bad, and I can tell you when it's good, you know. And I'm not going to sort of get into that right now, but I've been in some bad ones. I've been in where the administration has not been good to work with, and then it makes life very difficult for your coaches and your programs because they've never been there, so they don't know where to go. They don't say you can't come back where you ain't never been. Ooh. So there is some of those.
You're gonna work that in the sermon, aren't you?
And so some places have bad administration, not because they're bad people.
Sure.
It's because they've never seen it when it's been done right.
Yeah.
So they just don't know. And it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for people to change because you get stuck in a rut of this is how we've always done it. For a coach, that's the worst thing to hear. Well, is people tell you, well, this is not, we've always done it this way, or we've never done it that way. Well, that's not good. But our administration here has been good. It's been great. Julie's been great to work with, and you know, you got Rachel and Missy, and you got other people inside the school with Jack and Josh and people that really have helped us. You know, even honest, our guy that cuts the grass every day. What a wonderful man! He has been he's special. Yeah. He drives me more than anybody. That man. You know,
and he will if you can fit in the car. He'll drive you.
Man,
but it's small.
He is a great guy. He is what life's all about. To be honest with you, and you know, we got a lot of people that help out, and I think that you know, I'm appreciative to Deanna for doing the concession stand. I'm appreciative to my wife for what she does. You know, so and now Spencer is doing the DFO stuff and has done a wonderful job in the last week and a half. He's been a godsend to take over and do the director of football ops stuff. And so I'm very pleased with him and Scott Brooks and for our video guy. It takes a lot of Matthew Mills, man. I mean, he takes these kids and get them into rehab and they're on Friday nights, and he is a very needed individual. I know he's on our school board. I know he's president. I get all that. But at the same time, his value to our program is important. And then our media part of it. Y'all, Val Media, you got Brick Boy, you got a lot of things, you know, what's her name? Andrea that does the...
Andrea House.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a team of people to make a program successful. And any kink in the armor hurts a program. Everybody has to be on the... That doesn't mean we always have to agree on everything. But if everybody's pulling in the same direction, we'll be successful. Because any little kink in the chain, we won't be state champions. We just won't. There'll be something that'll pull us back when we need to be strong going forward. That means everybody has to be bought in, and everybody, this particular year, has to be bought in and what I've laid out and how to get there. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I haven't been there 13 times as a head football coach. I've been to a state championship game a lot. I feel like I know how to get there. Now, I'll say this. I have lost some state championship games.
Coach Jeff wasn't going to say that.
Well,
He was not going to bring that up.
But I can tell you this. Of the ones that I've lost, I can tell you to the T why we lost them. And even the semifinal loss, been in 20-plus semifinal games. And I think that's you go back and you those experiences you gain from that. I was talking to Bill Clark this morning, former coach of UAB.
He's a dude.
No, we're like brothers. He came to the game, Blunt game.
Okay.
Him and his wife came and watched the game, and I'm very appreciative of that. He was very complimentary of Teddy's defense. He was talking about how he felt like that Teddy had the defense really ready to play, that fundamentally and mechanically and all the scheme stuff that he did. And Bill knows defense as good as, I'm not saying he's a Nick Saban type guy. This guy is really sharp. His defenses have led Conference USA, and when he was in high school, he was just great. Trust me, I went against him. I know. And so we were just talking about the little things that you have to do to continue to be successful. And we were just going through a few things.
Sure.
And it goes back to travel, how you eat, how the meeting times, and the walkthrough. Everything has to come together. And there is a plan how to do it. And you have to stick to the plan.
Imagine those conversations with Bill Clark, Rush,
I was just thinking,
John Gross.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah. We've had them.
We need to do a round table and just let them talk. We film it.
We just have to sit.
Just listen in. Yeah.
Well, it's good. It's good to bounce ideas off people, and Bill trusts me. I trust Bill, and
Well, somebody needs to be coaching.
Bill. We'll see what happens here in the next month or so. But I think now Bill's sharp, and when we have a defensive question, it's good to have him to ask.
Sure.
But he was very complimentary of Teddy, and so I didn't call him. He called me to tell me that. He said, "Man, I really like your defense coordinator. I really like what he did in that game and the adjustments he made going into the second half." And so I told Teddy that a while ago before I came over here that Bill was bragging on him. So I think
should have told him.
Yeah, no, but
just when you think his beard his head could get any bigger.
And I think Larry's done a phenomenal job for me too. He's a bright, good young football coach, and his growth will continue to go. I told him last night. The off season is where Alaric will make hay, because you sit down, you meet with people, you go see people, people come see you, and you start studying, especially in February is what I call think tank month. And you start really putting your plan for the year of 26 together in February, really late January, February. You start putting your plan together, and then really you start meetings in March. And I'm a big believer in having spring ball in May after baseball and track's over with. So that way we know sort of what we got. So I know the new rule hurts us a little bit because people have to come in earlier. But, we got to get a lot of people in here if we're going to have a team.
Andrea said that she's got her outfit picked out. She's ready to go conquer family. And not only will she be pulling the chain the right way, if you need her to, she'll wrap it around somebody's neck. I may have threw that in, but she would do it. She's good. Coach, anything in closing? I know we got to get out, make the long drive, pick out a restaurant, go get up there. Jeff and I will be there as soon as we possibly can on Thursday. And it's going to be a great night to be a conqueror, Jeff.
No, we just got to go play. We just got to go play and be focused and be ready to start the game fast. We'll start the game fast and play smart and control our emotions and execute. That's the key. We got to execute.
All right, Coach Rush Propst, thank you, buddy. Thank you for everything you do for the program, for us, and let's get them. Let's get them tomorrow night and go Conquerors.
Thank you. Go Conquerors.